My name's Jessica, and I have a bachelor's degree in equine studies.
And my name is Brittany, and I have a bachelor's degree in film and television. And we're going to make a bad horse movie.
Welcome to Colt Classics.
Welcome to the classics. I'm making a new theme song as we go right now. How do you feel about it?
I mean, it's pretty good.
Welcome to the classic. There's horses in them. What if we just remade every classic with a horse? So like Citizen Kane is a horse now.
I mean,
Psycho, a horse.
So you're just talking about replacing the characters with
the main
horses?
character in any classic is now it's a horse now.
Oh dear.
Trying to think of other classic
That's
movies.
a lot to unpack. I don't want to get into that right now.
But see, something like Casablanca, they're both horses.
I don't know anything about that movie. I'm sorry.
It's a weird romance thing.
Oh.
Not really. It's like a sad noir. There's a lot going on with Casablanca.
Anyways, today is a special fun time episode.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's on our regular-ish schedule.
Yes.
However, it is the Pocket Podcast Potluck.
Welcome to the potluck. It's the same theme. Yes, it is potluck time. It's kind of going through the fall season, so like October, November. Every show on the network is going to be doing their own version of their potluck.
Yep.
So bringing food and friends to the table.
Yes.
The overall arching theme is food.
Yes.
But it is just kind of like a good time. We're all hanging out. A lot of shows are doing like guesting spots or, kind of bringing what they really enjoy to the show. I think by the point that this episode comes out, the No Dice Potluck will be out.
Oh, okay.
And it was also our spooky Halloween episode.
Oh,
so we kind of combined them together. And that was super fun. We were candy monsters.
Oh boy.
Well, I say I ran the game.
Oh, okay.
Because it's the Halloween episode, so I must run it. Actually, I not must. I like running it. And they did a heist, and so super cool, super fun. So check it out.
They steal pumpkin pie, or
they stole a watermelon tourmaline ring.
Oh, okay.
So it was like a real gem, but it was like a ring pop, and it was super fun. We had a good time. I mean, I really like running the Halloween games, but that's kind of like a good example of just like fun, food, friends, good time.
Good times.
So that's what we're doing today.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Before we begin, once again, thank you to Community Access Media for allowing us to use your podcasting studio and your cameras, to be perfectly honest. So this is the video version if you're watching on a screen. If you're listening with your ears, good job. You done did it.
Either one is great.
Yeah, they're all so great.
Okay.
Yes.
It's you.
It's me.
It's all you.
So I said, you know what? Instead of hey or nay, let's talk about food.
Because that is what potlucks are about.
It really is.
I mean, they're about being together as well. But, the point of a potluck is everybody brings a dish.
Yes. And we're already together. If you're listening to this, we're in your car or in your home or on your screen somewhere.
Inside your ears and your brain.
We're inside. So we're already together. So I wanted to talk about like what's an ideal potluck? And I think this is going to be really more of a little section for the members of the network. So if you're listening to this, what we're imagining is if we were all in the same location, like what a Pocket Podcast Network potluck would be, like ideally. What would we want to see? And I'm not going to assign dishes to shows. You guys can comment on that. But like we're talking about just like food we like, food we would bring,
right?
And all kinds of stuff. So what is your like go-to dish? Like what do you like to eat or make?
Well, first of all, I feel like you can have a potluck at any time of the year, but I feel like my favorite time, honestly, is kind of like right now, like fall time-ish, because then you get all like the comfort dishes. So like there's mashed potatoes and maybe somebody made soup. I've been to soup-specific potlucks where it's just like a bunch of different types of soup, which is amazing.
Yeah.
It's very hard to get everything you want, though, because you have to have like 4 different bowls.
You become the like skilled waiter. Yeah. Like, let me carry all these soup.
Yeah. Whereas like a traditional potluck, you can just shove everything onto one plate and just like pile it real high.
Exactly.
This is kind of a family tradition dish, not necessarily for a potluck, but just like around this time of year. My favorite thing that I have to have is green bean casserole.
Mm-hmm.
And our family one is not necessarily maybe unique, but I haven't seen it a lot other places. We actually put Velveeta cheese in it.
Mm-hmm.
And most other green bean casseroles that I've had is like, it's the green beans and like cream of mushroom soup and some other stuff, but they don't put the cheese in. And I am low-key obsessed with cheese. It's delicious and makes up a good portion of my diet. So anything that has added cheese is better. Yeah. But yeah, I really love that green bean casserole that we make. My mouth is literally watering thinking about it. And I think this is a fun story anyways. So when I was in high school, I forget what year exactly. You will also remember this story because it happened to you as well. We got our wisdom teeth pulled at the same time.
Yeah.
And it was literally the day before Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
And so I couldn't eat practically anything that we normally when we do that as a family. I couldn't eat anything. And so even though it's been like, I want to say probably like almost close to like 10 years now since that, I still get excited every Thanksgiving when I'm actually able to eat the food. So I was so traumatized by the fact that I wasn't able to eat. It was green bean casserole almost specifically. Yeah. Although that was one of the things that like a day or two later I was actually able to eat. I think we did something and tried to like puree stuff like people do when they get their wisdom teeth out. They're like, I still want to eat. Let me just chuck this in the blender. And that's like not good.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I don't remember any of that. So.
It was kind of traumatizing, so I very much remember it.
I mean, I remember getting my wisdom teeth out, and then I remember just sleeping.
Yeah, no, that happened a lot.
Yeah, just a lot of sleeping. I do love the green bean casserole, and I do think that our recipe that we share as a family is the optimal recipe. I think it's the best one. Do we put the French cut green beans in there?
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's also what makes it. It's like a really cool little texture in there. It's because they're thinner.
Yeah. And they're not as big and you don't like have to like bite into a green bean.
Yeah. So it's very much a soft casserole situation.
Yeah.
My dish that I want to make again. Did I make it last year or the year before?
I don't remember.
So I made it either 1 or 2 years ago, and it was a truffle mac and cheese. And oh my God, the best mac and cheese I've ever made. I really like flavored mac and cheese. One of the things I do a lot recently is I've been putting sriracha in my mac and cheese.
Oh.
Just to spice it up, just to add a little bit of punch to it.
Yeah.
I also like, for a while, I was just putting like a bunch of seasonings. I put like garlic powder and onion powder and salt and pepper on my mac and cheese. But like this is like a homemade truffle, like the oils and like the little pieces. And I had never had truffles before. And this is an expensive little thing. I'm I hope I like it.
Yeah.
I hope I like it. I took one little taste before I put it in and I like melted because it's so good.
That's why it's expensive.
It's expensive. It's like garlicky. It's like earthy. Like you can't really ascribe any other flavor other than truffle to it. But it's just so like rich and earthy. And it's essentially, it was like a 3 or 4 cheese sauce that you put it over and then you put the truffle oil in. I think I tried to bake it and I don't remember it was supposed to be baked or not. I love baked mac and cheese. I have never once been able to make a good baked mac and cheese. I'm missing the magic touch to bake it.
I think you have to like double the amount of liquid that is in it if you bake it. Because I feel like if you bake it, you lose a lot of the the liquid. And my favorite kinds of mac and cheese are the like really like there's more cheese than noodle, almost like gooey kind of stuff. And if you lose too much of the liquid when you're baking it, then it's like it's still good, but it's not like ooey gooey delicious mac and cheese.
I feel like I also need a kitchen torch. Like, and I say this both like give me more flames, yes please, but also like I don't think that I like the way the breadcrumbs bake. And I want to like crisp them up.
Well, did you use the broiler function?
I don't have a broiler function.
Okay. But maybe that also would be a solution.
But also give me a handheld flame. Would be pretty cool.
Just don't like burn them. Like I can imagine if you did it too much that suddenly you've just got like black breadcrumbs on the top.
Probably. So I feel like so far we've pitched a lot of cheese-based dishes.
Have I mentioned that I like cheese?
Mashed potatoes are a must. Cranberry sauce is a must.
See, I actually
you don't like
cranberry sauce.
So nix the cranberry sauce.
I used to, but it's just one of those things that like I'm not really much a fan of anymore.
We're putting this is like the optimal everybody and by everybody the two of us and everybody else at the network can pitch in their what they would bring for their dish. But like we're bringing green bean casserole and truffle mac and cheese, and then everything else is like, oh, I hope it's there. So obviously mashed potatoes. I'm a vegetarian, so I don't eat any kind of fowl. And I don't really like the vegan turkey loaves. Like I don't like them. Yeah, they're not good.
Do you have anything like protein besides like? Is there anything besides cheese, or just like cheese your protein, your like main protein?
I feel like I did something the other year and I do not remember.
Like, do you do tofu anything? Like not substitute turkey or substitute chicken or anything but like tofu specifically.
I haven't made any, but I feel like I probably could because there's a lot of good marinated tofu dishes. So somebody would have to like really pitch me a good tofu dish and then I'd do it. Because I want it to be that fall, like, homey. Because a lot of tofu are like Asian inspired, which is great. Good stuff. But I don't think I want like a Asian barbecue tofu next to my mac and cheese. Like it's just not the same vibe. What else do we like at the bread? Some rolls.
Give me carbs.
Yeah, we're not really making a good case for ourselves here. But I'm just like a potluck is like a homey potluck.
Yeah. I'm thinking mashed potatoes. There's usually corn. I feel like I don't always like eat them. Sometimes I feel it, sometimes I don't. But like sweet potatoes, like sweet potatoes usually a thing that happens. There's a couple different ways that we've made sweet potato casseroles of sorts.
Yeah.
I like both turkey and chicken. So usually one of those.
You know, maybe instead of like a tofu, like if I'm bringing, like say we're splitting this, like and you're bringing half and I'm bringing half and the network can bring whatever they want. Like some baked portobellos, like mushroom caps. I could even stuff them with some like blue cheese or just regular cheese. I know you don't like that, but I could do half and half.
The mushrooms sound so good. I don't think we've ever had mushroom things at family functions.
I don't think because our father does not like mushrooms. He hates mushrooms so much.
Yeah.
And I think that like you and Nicole are starting to like grow into them.
Yeah, I didn't start liking mushrooms until I want to say like partway through college. So it's only been like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. And our mother loves mushrooms, but I don't think that when we make family function meals, we just cater to one person until it was me when I was vegan. You know what? Let's also bring a salad. I know you don't like salad, but I think that if we're bringing it for the network, we got to have some greens.
Okay.
We could also do like
rabbits,
a side of green beans.
Yeah, no, I've seen that before.
Yeah, so some green beans and green bean casserole, some salad. Anybody, if any of like any regional dishes, looking at you, Daniel. Bring me some collard greens, please.
When you said bread, I also thought of, I think that this is a Polish specific bread. I'm not entirely sure of that. But our grandma makes anise bread. And like, So I guess aniseed is like something that they use in licorice, but like it doesn't
In
taste,
black licorice, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it doesn't taste like that though. Like, because I've never really liked black licorice. I love anise bread. Like, there's something about it that's just
It's processed
so
differently, I
good.
think. It's very tasty. And
Mhm.
if it's not Polish, it's at least Eastern European.
yeah,
So
right.
I think that would be really good.
I love anise bread.
I am making a proclamation
Okay,
right now that at some point, I'm not identifying what point because I don't want to put a timeline on this.
Yeah.
But at some point, we're going to make this feast a reality.
Oh boy.
It's going to happen.
Okay.
All the shows on the network are going to be there.
Okay.
And we're going to have a good potluck.
Okay.
I'm manifesting it.
Okay.
So
I'm here for it. Do we want to talk about dessert? Or
no,
is that going to take too long?
No, we're going to spend the whole episode on dessert, and I do want to actually make a horse movie.
Yes. Yes.
So we can make a dessert-based episode in the future.
But like, you know, if you're coming to this potluck that we're manifesting, it's not just food.
Yeah, you're
Like-
required to bring one dish and one dessert.
Yeah, there's got to be so much dessert that you stuff yourself until you fall over.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That's the only way to potluck.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I'm going to bring a pumpkin pie.
Okay.
And you can bring
There's so many desserts I like.
what's like another pie or a cake or a pastry.
For some reason, when I am put on the spot, my mind goes blank.
Apple pie?
But apple pie was the first thing that I thought
Yeah.
of. I do really like apple pie.
And some ice cream.
No. Sorry. It came to me. It finally came to me.
Your brain turned on.
I know that it's you're bringing pumpkin pie, but
Yeah.
I love pumpkin roll.
Okay, you bring pumpkin roll. I'll bring
'Cause-
apple pie and
okay.
some ice cream.
Because pumpkin roll with the cream cheese frosting.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. All right,
Okay.
that's our potluck wish list.
Perfect.
Okay, you want to make a horse movie?
Yes. So I don't know if this is going to work with whatever we generate for the title,
Mhm.
but I wasn't thinking about it too hard. But when we were talking about, you know, making a food-based episode,
Yeah.
my brain immediately went to, like, I guess kind of like how you did with the Candy Monsters,
Mhm.
where it's just horses that are made out of food.
Yeah, let's do it. So what food are we putting in the title? Or do we want to just make it like food? Like put food in the title and then figure out the rest of it?
Food. That's it. We got the movie title. Done.
Done. We're going to shuffle this because
Yes,
that's giving
please.
us nothing. Food father. You just
I am your father. I am your food father.
I hate it.
Food companions.
It's so like
It's yeah.
I'm your food companion.
It makes me think that it's like an anime.
a little bit.
Which I feel like horses made out of food is already like kind of anime material.
We've not done an anime yet. We've done animated.
Yeah, I want to be kind of careful, I guess, about anime because like there is a very specific, like it's cultural somewhat,
Sure.
and also like I've seen like bits and pieces of different animes, but like I don't know a lot about it, and so like I don't want to go too far with.
So what if we did it in the style of like Pokemon,
Okay.
where it's like it's US centric, like or like Digimon, I think is also kind of US based. I could be completely wrong, and
Yeah.
feel free to call me out for it. But
Yeah.
like children's programming that has that like vibe, but there's a lot more to it.
Like the more Eastern Asian like art style
Sure,
kind of stuff.
sure.
Okay.
You want to try that?
Maybe. Let's see
Okay.
where the title goes.
Food companions horse. I just love when horse pops up.
It's just so like horse.
Horse. Do you want to shuffle?
Yeah, shuffle.
Okay. Food companion sensation. Food companions law. Food companions attorney at law. It's not good.
No.
It's bad.
No, it's very bad.
Okay, shuffle.
Yeah.
Shuffle. Barbie.
Where did Barbie come
I
from?
don't know. Maybe there's a Barbie movie in here somewhere.
Oh, probably. There are a few horse Barbie movies.
Yeah. I feel like companions is throwing us off.
Yeah.
I kind of want to just try again.
Okay.
Food disco. We just did a disco, didn't we?
We did.
Okay.
We did.
Food coup. Food fight.
Okay.
It needs to be called food fight.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So-
like it.
So if it's like food fight and then it's
Uh-huh.
still like Pokemon based,
Uh-huh.
you're fighting food horses against each other. Why do I like this so much?
I like it a lot. I think that we need a like a subtitle /
Okay.
after the colon kind of a thing. I feel like that's kind of common for
Sure.
those sort of things.
Colon it is.
Okay.
Companions again. Magnificent thoroughbreds.
Shuffle.
Shuffle. Turf, outfield, wind.
No, shuffle.
Ponies, time, ma.
Ponies.
Ponies, pride. Do you want to shuffle?
Yeah. Ponies money.
Ponies, money.
Ponies money.
Food fight.
Hey,
Ponies,
ponies
money.
money. There's
Uh.
time again. Oh no, you already said that. Sorry.
Pony.
Ponies adventures.
I feel like that's not making things clearer.
No.
You want to shuffle?
Yeah.
Ponies fighting. Food fight. Ponies fighting.
What if we did like ponies of?
Okay. Kentucky. I put. Oh, there it is. I was like, I put in other states.
Okay, good.
Nevada.
Shuffle.
Detective.
Ponies of detective.
Ponies of detective. One detective owns all these ponies.
All the ponies. Ooh, I feel like Eastern is a good like.
Well, we did Thieves of the Eastern Sea.
Yes. No.
But we could do Sky, or we could do
Shuffle.
Journey,
No.
Conspiracy, or Shannon, or Clippity.
No.
Eastern. You want Ponies of the Eastern?
It doesn't even say the. It's just ponies of Eastern.
Ponies of Eastern. We're starting to get into bad translation territory.
Maybe not that. Oh, Eastern Corral.
You like that?
Yeah.
I feel like that doesn't give us any more information, but
No.
if you're feeling it.
Well, I mean, it's not like the best that it could be. I don't know. Like, I feel like there's some, like, I think maybe I'm thinking more of like video games because you mentioned Pokemon.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like there's some that have just like really good subtitles.
Yeah.
Where it's like, obviously I can't think of anything now that I'm trying
Yeah.
to, but,
Maybe we find it along the way.
okay.
So
Okay.
we can keep that for now.
Uh-huh.
And I can kick the table some more. And then we can come back to the subtitle if we feel like we've
Okay.
come up with a better one. I keep kicking the dang table. Okay, so
Okay.
food horses.
Food horses.
How are we? I feel like we've got to do the technical bits first
Okay.
to get into the story.
Yeah.
How are we organizing food? Because like is a horse like basic foods, or are
Mhm.
they like created foods? Like, is there a pizza horse, or can you only have tomato horse? And then like again, Pokemon style, you like, I don't know, or maybe not Pokemon. Like, like isn't there some kind of game where you can like merge your
yeah.
monsters and they
Yeah.
become a different monster?
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm thinking of.
I don't know what you are either, but I know kind
Yeah.
of the idea, the concept that you're
Yeah.
talking about.
So it's like tomato horse and
Uh-huh.
cheese horse,
Yeah.
and you also need bread horse. And then you got pizza horse. Or do we start with pizza horse?
Now I'm torn because I like them both. Like I'm thinking of specifically right now in my head of like how would we draw, like, or not we necessarily,
Yeah.
but how would somebody draw a horse that's made, like literally made of just tomato.
Okay, you've got two options.
So
like just tomato, right? One is it's just a red horse with maybe some green somewhere. Or you make a really brown horse. I'm specifically thinking of like pizza or like cheese, right?
Yeah.
Like you could either just have a regular horse that someone, instead of coloring it in, just put a cheese texture in there. Or you could make a really drippy kind of, or like a horse with holes like Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
So like those are the two options, I think. And I think those are like budget options.
Right. Yeah.
Like if we have no budget, we're just going to drop a texture in there and hope for the best.
Yeah. Although the other thing I was thinking about was like, I don't know how weird this would be, but like a horse that is like pieced together of that particular thing. Like I'm thinking like tomato horse is like 3 tomatoes for the body. And then like kind of a longer tomato for the neck, and then like 3 tomatoes or 2 tomatoes for the head that are like,
You know who might make that a reality? Nicole.
Oh, yeah.
Because like you could get like a 3D horse model and then just fill it with tomatoes.
Right, yeah. I feel like that would be probably a little bit intense, but kind of fun to animate, because I feel like you could make them a little bit like the way that they're held together is just kind of like magic, force field kind of a deal. So I feel like they would be a little bit more like flexible and like could do kind of funky things that like a regular horse couldn't do, because they're, tomato horse, like all 3 tomatoes of the body kind of can move on their own a little bit, and so it like makes tomato horse able to do weird contortion things.
I guess it depends on like what we want the vibe to be, because I still really like the idea of like 2D anime style where it's just a horse with a cheese texture, or even like drippy horse could still be like good. Yeah. Of like in more of like the Pokemon style of this rock has arms, So I guess the technicality of it sounds like regardless of 3D or 2D, we want to start with like base horses.
Well, because the other thing I was thinking about was like, is that too limiting? Of like, like there's not as many options for foods that are just a food and not.
Well, okay. What they are is ingredients.
Right. Okay. So
I feel like.
What does yeast horse look like?
Okay. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think we need to go that far down. I think we need to like have a level of suspension of disbelief.
So you're okay. So like how in Minecraft,
sure,
you put like a stick and a rock together, and then suddenly it's a pickaxe,
right?
Okay.
Yeah, there's no like rawhide in there or the hours spent making the rock into a blade.
Yeah.
Like base ingredients without going into, we've got to raise this yeast to rise the bread and the wheat's got to come from somewhere.
Right.
Because it's a, pocket monsters. It's ingredient horses.
Yeah.
Like we don't care that much.
Yeah.
But I think that it could be like a leveling situation. Like I've got a pizza horse.
Yeah.
And then somebody else has a pineapple pizza horse.
Uh-oh.
Crazy.
Horse fusion.
Yeah, it's
fusion.
It's Steven Universe.
Okay,
fusion.
It came to me and I was like, is that what you were thinking of?
I don't think that was what I was initially thinking of, but it is what I'm thinking of now.
Yeah. Kind of that idea.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. I think we can stick with the 2D animation, like kind of anime-ish animation style.
And what we can do is like, this sounds like a TV show.
Yes.
So what we can do is have that one episode where everything's 3D for no reason and it's like weird and it turns out it's all a dream or something.
Oh yeah.
But that's when we can have the tomato horse like that.
Yeah.
I love it.
Can the Can the food horses still be kind of like that though, where they're kind of like pieces of the food pieced together, even in the 2D style? Or do you really want to just drop the texture over top of the horse?
I'm concerned, and we're saying all of this like we're really developing the show, but it's fun to play in the space.
Mm-hmm.
I'm concerned that we're gonna lose clarity of the shape.
Okay.
If we have little shapes making up a big shape.
Okay.
So you'd have to make sure that there's a clear outline.
Okay.
So you've got a horse on your shirt.
Yes.
So I'm going to use that as an example.
Okay.
And hopefully describe it well enough so the listeners that aren't watching can understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But if you were to keep that blue outline of the horse and then draw additional tomatoes inside of it, you could get away with it. But if there was no blue outline and you were just placing tomatoes in the shape of it, I think we would lose clarity on what the shape is.
Yeah.
And also depending on our budget.
Right. Yeah.
Like you want animators to draw less.
Right.
Especially animators. You want them to draw like the least amount as possible so you can go as quickly as possible, especially with the TV show.
Yeah.
Unless we're doing something like a 3D model that we color to look 2D. But regardless, I still feel like that's the same idea of like clarity and speed. But I think that there could be like maybe insinuations of that. Like you could put like little tomato tops.
Oh, yeah.
Like along its back or as its mane or something.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose your idea.
No.
But I do want to make sure that like we can understand that these horses are food.
Right. I think my thing that I was kind of thinking about with that was just like, I don't want it to be like My Little Pony where they all look the same.
Okay.
Like they've all got the same like I mean, and that works great and I love it and it's easy for first time people to learn how to draw. Like no hate towards it. I love My Little Pony. But I was like, for this, I want there to be a little bit more individuality between the horses. So we could do more of like what you were talking about where the tomato horse is a little bit
chunkier and like the mane is just all the little green things. I feel like the cheese, like if we wanted to get a little bit into weird territory, like the cheese horse could just have cheese legs, like gooey, drippy, like there's no hooves.
The holes through it too would be good.
Yeah, so I think that there's ways to definitely make each one look like the food without dropping a texture inside of it. I think that would just involve time spent doing character design.
Right.
So even if we're like sticking with Pizza Horse, I don't know why we got stuck in Pizza
I was just about to say, I think Pizza Horse / tomato, cheese, and bread horse are our like 3 main main characters that we're following or something.
But like with bread horse, right? Like just and we're not even talking about pizza dough. We're just this is just a bread horse.
Yeah.
I think you could do like some of the cross hatching that you get on some bread. You could have its tail be just like a big long baguette, yeah, or its mane or something.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's a way to make the textures of each food part of the horse,
right? Without
again dragging and dropping. Being like that one's bread.
That one's a green bean.
That one's a green bean. I think proportions are going to play a role in that too, because I think like a tomato horse would need to be chunkier, and I think a green bean horse would need to be like, a little skinny. What I'm wondering is, are these horses characters or are they like Pokemon? Because like as much as like Pikachu is a character. We don't. Ash is the main character in Pokemon,
right?
So, but if we're going more Steven Universe, then the horses can be the character. I don't know why we would want to fuse to make Pizza Horse to save the world.
I was gonna say to defeat the evil man who decided that I don't know, pizza is the worst.
This is a pro pizza account.
It's got cheese on it. Have I mentioned how much I like cheese?
Pizza is great because it is one thing I can eat with pretty much anybody. Because I'm like, it's so hard to like, what do we want to eat? Well, I'm a vegetarian. It's like pizza. Everybody likes pizza.
Yeah.
Give me a cheese pizza. We good.
We good. Yeah.
Do we need to think of the like antagonist?
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
To answer your first question, I think that the horses should be the characters.
Okay. So Steven Universe style.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was thinking about it where it's like, because I think I want them to be more, like, have more, like, personality and thought processes than, like, Pokemon do.
Sure.
Like, Pokemon are great, but they just kind of yell their name at you and move on.
Some of them are as big as the universe, and some of them fit in the palm of your hand.
Right.
That's my understanding of Pokemon.
Yeah. And so, but, like, I can imagine it being where, like, you know, the horses are the food horses are the main characters.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not, like, humans that are collecting them or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I think that the evil villains, I almost want to be humans. Maybe they don't have to be, like, human, but humanoid looking. Like,
Sure.
I just have this image in my head of, like, not Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
He's a good one.
He is a good one. I don't know, just like that evil, cackly villain type, like, in animated.
I've been expecting you.
Yeah, we just got, like, a long, kind of pointed nose and, like, kind of Jafar-ish almost too,
Sure.
but, like, kind of not, like, lost a few brain cells like Dr. Doofenshmirtz, but not like Jafar is, like, actually kind of scary because he's, like, serious about stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like if you've got a villain who is just, like, trying to take over the world by cloning pineapple horses to fuse with the pizza horses or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, so it's, like, a little bit funky and ridiculous, but also, like, the villain's kind of serious about it.
It's kind of like an Eggman from Sonic.
Yeah. Yep. That's exactly what I know very little bit about Sonic, but, like, that vibe I think is almost exactly.
Like, he's so serious about it. And
Yeah.
Sonic's like, you fool.
You fool.
We don't need this. What are you doing?
Yeah. And so, like, he doesn't necessarily have to be a human. Could be like a, I don't know.
I think if we're doing the style of 2D animation,
Uh-huh.
I think it does need to be in the style of, like, Eggman or Dr. Doofenshmirtz or something that's, like, a stylized human kind of adjacent,
Right.
without it being like, this is a human man that we
Right.
stuck in this
Yeah, no.
version.
But I was saying, like, he could be food related too. Like, he doesn't have to be like, oh, there's a human in this, you know, world of food horses. Like, it could be like a green bean man or something like that.
Is there something that would be like, not the opposite of food, because I don't want to insinuate that we're gonna, like, say that, I don't know, diet pills or something, which is not a thing. I don't know why I said diet pills. Those don't really exist anymore. But, like, that idea, right? Like a tummy tea, like, which I'd love to campaign against tummy tea, but I don't think that in a children's programming, they would go past them. It would go right over them.
Right.
I wonder if maybe like a drink.
I was gonna say, is he a beverage?
Yeah. But how do you make a beverage man without just making a cup with eyeballs?
Beverage man.
Do you think beverage man is
a vending machine?
No, that's even more square. Like, he needs,
or like a soda machine that you at a restaurant.
This is so far away from the human man that you've proposed.
No, I know.
Maybe he's a waiter.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
Or like a maitre d'. His name is maitre d'.
Okay. I don't know what that is.
Fancy waiter.
Okay.
So
perfect.
Maitre d'.
Maybe maybe okay, not to get, like, too weirdly, like, religious or anything, but I feel like that there is either some sort of benevolent being or beings in this world, and I feel like it's a chef. So the waiter wants to be the chef, and that's why he's so upset.
Okay.
And angry all the time.
Okay.
Because he's not a chef. He's only a waiter.
Okay.
Maybe it's not a benevolent being. Maybe it's the king.
I almost wonder if like maybe we should do something in the realm of like She-Ra a little bit where it's like alien adjacent.
Okay.
So it is the maitre d' is, I don't know, is like a sub command of this restaurant ship. But the restaurant ship is gone.
Oh, okay.
So he's trying to like whatever escape pod he came down in has all of the things he can make to clone pineapple horses.
Right.
But he's trying, his goal is to get back on the ship.
Okay.
So if he makes the best horse combo they'll have to see how great he is and come back and get him.
Okay. So he's not really a villain. That's like he is, but he isn't. We like him. We want him to get back to his ship.
No, we can make him very unlikable.
Okay.
Like he's got a goal.
Right.
But and we could even make it kind of a little sad of like, oh no, he got kicked out. And then he just keeps going and you're like, wow, what a jerk.
Don't blame them for kicking you out.
Yeah, I don't like this guy. So I feel like, you know, and even because I feel like there's definitely something to be said about lovable villains, even if because we got to go one of two ways. Because if we're thinking Dr. Doofenshmirtz,
right,
he's a good dad.
Yeah,
you know, he does what he can for his kids.
Yeah,
he does try to blow up the city every couple hours.
Right,
but he gets stopped by a platypus.
Yeah,
like he's just there. He's just doing his job.
Yeah,
like he's a man going to work to provide for his family.
Yeah,
so it's funny because that's why we sympathize and we don't want Perry to like smash him to smithereens.
Right.
But we're also like, Dr. Doofenshmirtz,
it was not a good choice.
No, you can make better choices.
Yeah.
So like we could do that, or we could just be like, man, this guy is a jerk. I hate him. It depends on how much we want to like the ponies.
You know me, I'm always for pony love.
Pony love.
The ponies are the best.
Because we can do a lot of things that are kind of arcs. So we could do like an arc of, the ponies get more likable or less likable. And the maitre d' gets more likable or less likable, learns a lesson. Yeah. Decides, season 2, he's like, you know what? I don't want to go back to my ship. Like we've got options as far as how we want to feel about it. So I feel like the question is, do we want him to have an arc, or is he like Dr. Doofenshmirtz who just kind of has like a solid, like he's just there as the reliable villain, right? And he has some good songs.
He does have some excellent songs.
Like Dan Povenmire is so good.
Like, he's a fabulous human being.
Can we just talk about how cool Dan Povenmire is for just a second?
Just 1 second.
Just 1 second. Dan, if you ever listen to this, please come on our show. Help us make a Bad Horse movie.
Oh, that would be amazing.
He's so cool. I feel like he'd be very good at helping us create a Bad Horse movie.
Yeah.
So, okay. So let's go back to maitre d'.
Okay.
I don't know if it's maitre d' or maitre d', but maitre d'...
It's just cars.
It's cars. I'm your maitre d'.
Oh boy. Nope. Definitely not. I'm vetoing that.
I don't know if it's maitre though. It's spelled Maitre, and I think there's like a special umlaut or something in there somewhere. It's a French word. I don't remember it. I took French for 1 semester in high school.
Apparently we don't apologize to the French for mispronouncing things. So
I refuse.
Just pick something.
Maitre d'.
Maitre d'. Okay.
I think if it's his name too.
Yeah.
Maitre.
Maitre Danny.
Maitre Dan.
No, don't call me that. Only my mother uses my full name.
My name is Maitre.
My name is Maitre. Yeah. I think I would like him to be a reliable villain.
Okay.
I feel like that's a pretty common like anime type thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there's always Team Rocket.
Yeah.
I have nothing else to offer.
Well, because if we're using Steven Universe, almost every villain in Steven Universe gets a redemption arc. Some of them do get worse.
Right.
But most of them, or at least they're offered the chance to have an arc.
Right.
So there's not really like a consistent.
That is the villain.
There's a kind of like an off-screen threat that's consistent. And granted, I haven't gotten that far into Steven Universe. I'm only like halfway through. But if I'm talking like the first couple seasons, because I think that's a good place to start.
Yeah.
There's really not like a consistent villain.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're going more Pokemon,
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, let's make Maitre D
Mm-hmm.
the just consistent. Like
Yeah.
he's always trying to get back to the ship. He's always
Yeah.
cloning something. It's very Sonic. It's very Eggman.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one too. Like
Yeah.
Sonic always has Eggman.
Yeah.
Like he's just always there.
And there's like, other villains.
Right.
But it's like, but then we come back to the one we like.
Joker, I hate you. I hate you too, Batman. Sorry.
That's also a good reference point too. The Lego Batman movie, in case
Mhm.
anyone was curious.
Yes. Sorry, I don't always explain my references.
That one I feel like is pretty self-forward, but there's a lot of Batman in the
Mhm.
world.
There's a lot.
There's
of
a
Batman
new
in the
one
world.
coming out.
Oh
so
boy.
There's like so many iterations of Batman.
So much
I
Batman.
wanted to be clear on that.
Yeah, that
Okay.
one's Lego Batman.
So with these horses, so they fuse. They
Yes.
join forces.
Uh-huh.
They make a pizza horse.
Mm-hmm.
Then what? Do they get powers?
Well, so is it permanent, or is it like fusions in Steven Universe where they can separate again or stay together if they want to?
I feel like I feel like the idea of choice is appealing to me.
Yeah.
Of like, if they're like, yeah, we like being pizza horse, like cool.
Yeah.
And it's like, if we wanted to go back to what we're doing, it's like, okay, cool.
Because I feel like I'm getting the vibes of like three best friends
Okay.
who are the main, like, there's other ones, but the three best friends are like the main ones that you follow. And so, the power of friendship, they're able to.
Food and friendship.
They're able to work together to defeat the evil,
Yeah.
but they also exist separately. So, like, when they come together, and fuse, or whatever word we want to
Isn't
use.
that like Transformers? Isn't there a bit where they can like
That's
come
why I was
together?
going to say there's also some
that
sort
or
of
Power Rangers. Power Rangers has like what's the
like a robotic suit
yeah,
kind of a deal.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a little different than what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that.
Mhm.
I feel like we're gonna need either to explore more characters or explore more about these characters. I feel like with the idea of food fusion
Mhm.
and ingredient horses,
Mhm.
there's just so many opportunities to like each episode be about a different food,
Right.
like B plot. Even if you really were concerned about it,
Mhm.
of keeping A plot pizza horses
Right.
and B plot other
Yeah.
ingredients that can go together, like mac and cheese.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking like too, you can pull from like what they do with Pokemon and have like them travel to different quote unquote regions.
Ooh, yeah.
So we could go like international.
Yeah.
And have, I don't know, kimchi horse.
Yes. Yes. And I think we need to make sure that it's clear that like we're exploring these specific horses, because I think that like cheese horse
Mm-hmm.
isn't the only cheese horse.
Right.
Because if we can make like a mac and cheese horse, but
Mm-hmm.
that fusion is not
Yeah.
cheese horse leaves the pizza gang and decides to team up with a
With
noodle
noodle
horse. So I'm wondering if maybe like, I don't know if this would clarify things or make things more confusing, is if each horse had like a specific name and not like a person name. Like
Mhm.
there's and
Blue cheese horse, Swiss
Yes.
cheese horse.
thank you.
Okay.
That was exactly what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
And we'll reach a limit at
Uh-huh.
some point, but I think if we kind of approach it as like children's programming and
Yeah.
simplifying,
Yeah.
we can cross the bridge of too many cheese horses when we get there.
Right. Well, I feel like there's some thing, and I can't think of particularly what it is, but there's something where it's like there's the first one that you encounter just has the generic name, and then everything else after that is specified. So we're like, our main character is still Cheese Horse.
Yeah.
But then they travel to somewhere and they encounter Swiss Cheese Horse and Blue Cheese Horse. Or the other option is there's not just one of each food horse type.
Mhm.
Like there's, 80 different tomato horses in the world, because they're almost like families kind of, or like breeds
Mhm.
where there's, there's not like Tomato Horse is not the only Tomato Horse that exists.
No.
And then that would give you option for more different like fusions and things like that.
Yeah. So with that, it's like we could do like naming each breed of, I don't know enough about tomato, like cherry tomato, great tomato, beefsteak. Like we could do like those names. God, can you imagine a tomato horse named Beefsteak?
Beefsteak.
I'm Beefsteak. Nice to meet you.
That would be awesome.
It was so good.
Okay, so I think that in that case, then we should, it's not just like, oh, you're a tomato horse and you're a tomato horse and you're a tomato, because that was what I was saying about like, there's more, like there's more than one.
I think like conceptually, I think that's the idea. But I think because we want to simplify, and I think it would be so fun to have characters that are just named after the type of food that they are, that we might have to just limit our platter of food horses to just not overdo it. I think we can insinuate that there are a bajillion tomato horses out there. But I think we'll have to just like only a couple get names of different types of tomatoes.
Right.
Because I think that's the other thing too, is if we're using Pokemon rules, there's a bajillion Pikachus.
Right.
But when we talk about Pikachu, we're talking about Ash's Pikachu that is present in the main story.
Right.
So it's really would be a writing thing of making sure that we don't have two tomato main characters.
Right. Yeah.
So that not to confuse kind of anybody, but we can encounter like grape tomato can then be like, this is my brother Beefsteak. And you're like,
hi.
Hello.
I'm Beefsteak. Don't mess with grape.
Don't mess with me.
Grape tea. Because you can't just call it grape because there's probably a grape horse somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Unless we don't do any fruit horses. Because we could make fruit be a different animal.
Yeah, okay. But like we can't do just vegetables or else we can't make any of them. No, we have to have fruit horses or else we can't have pineapple pizza horse.
You're right. Okay. So grape tea.
Grape tea.
Sounds so weird.
Grape mato.
Grape mato. Because I don't think that I mean, I guess this is a creative decision we'd have to make of like, are we putting the type of food after tacked on the end? Like, I obviously don't think that like if you're playing a horse, your name is Blue Cheese Horse. Your name would be Blue Cheese.
Yeah.
But is your name just Blue? Is the question. Because if it's Blue and Swiss and Munster and Cheddar,
feel like it would depend on, like, I feel like we could go with that for the most part, but if there's something that's confusing, that we could alter it a little bit.
Okay.
Like
Grape Tom.
Yeah. Like, you know, something that it specifies it a little bit more. We're probably not going to run into too many of those issues.
Tomatoes?
Well,
or just like issues.
where the first word is also another.
It's also another type of food.
A type of food. Yeah.
I don't know. There was. So our father grew tomatoes in the garden this year, and he had grape tomatoes and pear tomatoes.
There's cherry tomatoes.
Cherry
too.
tomatoes. Was it grape and cherry? No, there was pears.
I don't know.
At least grape
about.
and cherry.
Yeah.
And so that's already like
poof. Yeah, we've got and
the tomatoes I think are going to cause us the problem.
I was just about to say like butternut squash, like, but you could do butternut instead of just butter.
Yeah.
Please tell me there's a butter horse.
Can it just be a butterfly?
Okay. They already did that in My Little Pony.
If you want a butter horse,
I want a butter horse.
Let's do a butter horse. I just don't know what butter horse is going to fuse with because that's an ingredient that's kind of already in stuff. Like
I have to come back to that one.
Yeah, because I put butter in mac and cheese. I put butter in my bread. Like it's already in there.
Right. I don't know.
I like it.
I love the idea of butter horse.
I don't know how useful that ingredient will be to fusions if we're making fusions.
Right.
Is the only problem.
Yeah.
So
that's fair.
Okay. So our plot is just kind of is it like a monster of the week while we're also traveling?
Explain to me a little bit more.
So Monster of the Week is a style of programming or TV shows where each episode doesn't really connect to the next one.
Oh, okay.
It's very like plot, beginning, middle, end of, whatever the problem is. Monster of the Week is referred to a lot of like the beginning seasons of Supernatural, where they like open the episode with cold open, and then the brothers are going to go find this demon, and then they solve the case.
Right.
And that's kind of, and then maybe it might culminate to something at the end for a finale. But typically it's just very, we're fighting one bad guy per episode, and they don't really interconnect.
Right.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer is kind of like that. Scooby-Doo. So like that style of programming is very popular on television. To some degree. I think we've kind of, as a culture, shifted more towards like long form narrative episodics, which is odd to me. But I think it's because, and this is just when we step into the film portion of our podcast for a second, I think this is because of streaming. Because you can just sit down and watch a show from beginning to end and get the plots and get the arcs and kind of have it be like essentially a really, really long movie.
Right.
Whereas it used to be obviously programming on TV. You'd flip the channel, you'd find an episode, Star Trek. You're like, I'm watching this Monster of the Week of them fighting the Borg for the first time, right? Like the Borg come back, but even the Borg coming back is still, it's within one episode unless they're making a two-parter.
Right.
Like we see the Borg, we fight the Borg, we defeat the Borg, end of episode.
Right.
So that's very, I think, similar for shows that were conceptualized before the advent of streaming as the popular way of consuming media. And so I'm operating under the idea of like, if this is similar to Pokemon, like in my mind, Pokemon was like on when we were young, and that was episodic Monster of the Week style television. We do have to acknowledge that we are making all of this content as within the current year, kind of like, pretending that we have a budget and crew and things to do. But I still think that you can make Monster of the Week style episodic. You just have to be prepared for it to go into longer form narratives if people like it, if it continues to be popular and continues to be made.
Well, I think for me, and maybe this is kind of what you were talking about with the streaming stuff, but like one of my favorite ways that something happens is where there is an overarching narrative throughout the whole season, but each episode does kind of have like a wrap up almost, which anime is not very good at that. They love to just basically cliffhanger you every single freaking episode.
So we're going to be better than anime.
Sorry. I don't know if every anime is like that, but the ones that I've watched or have started watching have been kind of like that, where it's like you have to sit down and watch the whole season all at once, or else you're on a cliffhanger all the time. And the seasons are like 28 episodes long. And sometimes a season doesn't even end whatever big bad that they're fighting. Like it stretches multiple seasons. You're like, okay, this is a lot. Anyways, so I like the style where I feel like my mind went to like American sitcoms, like Friends.
Sure.
Like there is like a thing that they're doing every episode, but there are also some kind of like overarching like relationships and themes and things that carry throughout the different episodes.
I'm kind of thinking of like Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Okay.
Because that's very similar, I think, to the style that we're doing of like animation and short, like Avatar episodes, from what I remember, are like 15 minutes long. They're not very long because they were originally played on Nickelodeon with ads in between, so they could stretch out that whole time. But there's a mission, right? They discovered the Avatar, and now they're trying to get him somewhere.
I feel like they're trying to move him somewhere.
Yeah, I just started watching it, and it was like they were trying to get him to somewhere, and then they decided they needed to go to the Fire Nation. So like their goals change mid-episode sometimes, but it was, hey, we've come to this village and we need to help them with their ghost problem. That was definitely an episode for sure.
Yeah.
And so something like that, right? Where it's like, okay, we got to defeat, I don't want to defeat Major D because like he's got to be a reliable villain. So what's the other plot? Like, what's the other part of this?
Does it make him less villainy if they're actually trying to like find whatever, like maybe he doesn't know this, but like the pizza ponies, the main three
Pizza
the
ponies.
Pizza ponies.
I think that's the subtitle.
Food fight pizza ponies.
I think it needs to be food fight pizza ponies.
Yeah, well, because then you could make spin-off series that are the different ones. So then you could make food fight lasagna ponies.
It's the same thing.
Sorry, I was trying to think of something international and then my brain just blanked.
Italy is international.
Well, yeah, but pizza is technically Italian.
Yeah, but not the way that we're thinking of it.
No. But let's see. Can I think of a food fight? Stir fry ponies.
Good, I guess. Dumpling ponies.
Dumpling ponies.
Oh my God. Can you imagine a dumpling pony? Just a big
so
round. Oh my
good.
God. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways. So the pizza ponies are trying to like find a part or a crystal or a something so that his ship will work again, so he'll leave them alone.
So they're trying to help him.
They are trying to help him, but he doesn't necessarily like know that they're trying to help him.
Yeah.
And maybe they're not trying to help him out of the goodness of their hearts. Maybe it's just like, man, this guy's really annoying.
We hate him.
And I feel like that would give reason for them to travel the world and encounter all of these other things that are going on. And, every, place that they stop, I feel like this is kind of D&D party
a little bit,
where there's like a main goal, but everywhere that they end up like helping the locals with whatever issue that they're having. The butterflies have gotten out of control.
I'm almost wondering if maybe to make it a little more expedited as far as like the idea of starting them on this journey is Maitre D just decides to just like set up camp. Their house.
Yeah.
Like their field, their pasture.
Well, so the beginning, like the very first episode that has like the backstory kind of stuff in it could be like his space pod crashing.
Yeah.
And it crashes into their barn or whatever.
And he's like, this is mine now.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think that's good because that'll give them reason to like go.
Yeah, because they don't have a place to stay.
Right.
And they're like, if we get this thing, he'll leave our barn.
Yeah.
And we'll be able to go back to sleep.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we could even, I almost feel like the cheese pony needs to be like categorized like personality wise as like a lazy character.
Okay.
And so like if they don't all have to be just this idea of being like, if we fix our barn, can I go back and take a nap? Like I can't get good sleep until I can get my stall back, essentially.
Right. Yeah.
So, and that's, and then the tomato pony, I don't know, chill. Chill. Yo, I'm a tomato. What's our bread pony like?
Well, it's like I don't want there necessarily to be like a leader because you got to have all three of them working together equally, or else you don't have a good
become the pizza pony.
Yeah. But I feel like the bread pony is the bread pony. We keep switching between pony and horse, which technically are not interchangeable terms.
Know.
But I'm letting it slide because to me it feels like the same thing of how we refer to dogs as puppies even when they're not still puppies.
Yeah.
But if you're being technical, ponies and horses are actually different. Anyways.
So, well, then back up. Hold on.
Okay.
So what do you think visually is the difference in like animation? Do you think there is a difference?
Ponies, I would say, would be like, and this would maybe be hard with the way we've talked about doing the food things, but ponies are like rounder and cuter and more like, I don't know, kid friendly kind of.
I feel like that's the aesthetic that we need.
Yeah, and littler.
Yeah.
Because I mean that is one of the main defining characteristics between a pony and a horse is height.
Okay.
Like there is like a cutoff line of like if you're this or taller, you're a horse. If you're shorter than that, then you're a pony. So I feel like they are ponies.
Yeah.
But bread pony sounds weird. Bread horse sounds okay.
But we're really not trying to refer to them by this double moniker. It's just bread.
Bread. Okay, so bread I feel like is the one with the plan.
Bread needs to be a bread. So maybe the tomato isn't chill. Maybe the bread is like, yo guys, I've got a plan.
Okay.
We're gonna become a pizza pony. You ready for this? Let's go!
Fuse time.
Fuse time!
I feel like we need to use a different word besides fuse because fusion is Steven Universe specific. Plus, we should make it something more like food making ingredient related.
I'm scared that it'll get scary. Bake time!
Well, what if we just called it like mixing?
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, mixing.
Ponies mix.
Good. Excellent.
It's Power Rangers now.
Yeah, it is a little Power Rangers, but I think we've taken every like childhood TV animated show and smooshed them all together in a big mixing bowl. Mixing bowl. Okay, so did we do it?
I think that's it.
We made Food Fight Pizza Ponies.
Pizza Ponies.
And
like I said before, there is room for spin-off series.
Yes. And I think we do need to have like a movie at some point.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but like first we got to do the TV show.
Yeah. Pizza Ponies in space.
I just want to make sure
Food Fight in space.
I want to make sure we clarify that we are planning on making a movie of this because we've made a TV show and we said we were going to make a movie at the top of this episode. So,
well, we've made TV shows before.
We have, but every time we start Colt Classics, we're going to make a bad horse movie, and then we made
bad because it's not a movie.
That's true. That's true. It's bad because it's not a movie.
It's not a movie, but it will be excellent.
But it will be very good and very fun to watch. Yes. I'm excited to see this in my mind's eye every night when I go to bed.
Again, we haven't gotten anything, but hopefully maybe in the future we will. If you are an artist, or even if you're not an artist, you just like the idea of the food ponies, please, please, please. I want to see what you think the food ponies look like.
Yeah.
Please draw a food pony. Send it to us on Twitter at Colt Classics PPN. I know I'm jumping the gun a little bit on that one, but I want to see your food pony drawings.
Or
I really want to know.
You can come in the middle of the night and put it on Jessica's pillow.
Please do not.
Give her a little kiss on the forehead.
No. Definitely not. No.
Okay, so that's a cult classic.
Yes.
Thanks for listening to our fun little TV show that we just made.
We are part of the Pocket Podcast Network, which has some other great shows, like one that I want to plug, Sorted. I actually got to do my first solo guesting on Sorted's potluck episode, so be on the lookout for that. It has not come out yet as of the release of this episode, but it will be soon because it is part of Potluck. I had lots of fun with JD and Alex sorting some things that I will not say what that is, but go listen to Sorted.
Shall not reveal.
Also, since we referenced Pokemon a lot this episode, listen to Pokemakers. Yeah. Also JD and Alex.
Yes, and they have made food-based Pokemon.
They have.
So like if you want to go listen to professionals figure it out faster than us
how Pokemon works with food involved.
Yeah. I would recommend listening to that.
Yeah. I think that was also a potluck.
I think it was too, because I think John's guest was potluck episode.
Yes.
So it's all food themed all the way down, baby.
All potluck. Listen to the other episodes of different shows that we're all doing potluck, all kind of various times, but it's a good time.
Yeah, it is a good time. We already kind of plugged our Twitter, but our Twitter and our Facebook is the same, at Colt Classics PPN. Share your stuff. Share our stuff.
Follow us on Twitter. We're still trying to do the Barn Special.
Yes, we are still trying to do the Barn Special. I don't mind if we slow down a little bit because it's cold now.
Well, yes.
You know, but like get us to 1,000 new followers by April.
Yeah.
That way it'll be warm and I can do an interview with a horse.
Right.
I'm going to interview a horse. Woo! So we're going to make this happen.
Yes.
Oh, your turn.
Thanks to... Forgot what I was doing. We'd like to thank Jason Shaw of Audionautics for the use of our intro and outro music.
And that's a wrap.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
Disclaimer. The conceptual treatment of a motion picture created during the duration of this audio program is not intended to represent a presently published fictional narrative. The story, all names, characters, and incidents portrayed in this production are fictitious. No identification with actual persons, living or deceased, places, buildings, and products is intended or should be inferred. Original concepts devised during the extent of the audio program are creative property of Colt Classics. Any usage of current or previous Colt Classic concepts outside of the aforementioned audio program must include appropriate acknowledgments by the utilizing party.
Pocket Podcast Network. Quality programming right to your pocket.